Abandoned, yet beloved. The sun had set and the night sky was dotted with stars when Jesus began to speak to the gathered crowd. Among them were people who had experienced abandonment in various forms. Parents who had abandoned them, friends who had betrayed them, and loved ones who had passed away. They had come to hear Jesus speak, hoping to find comfort and solace. My dear brothers and sisters, Jesus began, I know that many of you have experienced abandonment in your lives. You may feel alone, unloved, and forgotten, but I am here to tell you that you are not alone. You are loved, and you are not forgotten. As Jesus spoke, the crowd listened intently. His words were like a balm to their wounded hearts. He continued, God loves you more than you can imagine. He created you, and He knows everything about you. Even when you feel abandoned by those around you, God is always with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. The crowd murmured among themselves, some nodding in agreement, others wiping away tears. They had heard many teachers before, but there was something different about Jesus. His words had a power and a grace that touched their souls. Jesus looked out at the crowd and smiled. I know that some of you may feel that God has abandoned you. You may wonder why He would allow you to suffer. But I tell you this: God never abandons His children. He allows us to go through difficult times so that we can grow stronger and learn to rely on Him more fully. He uses our pain for our good. The crowd grew quiet, contemplating Jesus' words. They realized that He was right. They had been so focused on their own pain and suffering that they had forgotten that God was with them every step of the way. Jesus continued, I also want to remind you that you are not alone in your suffering. I have suffered too. I have been betrayed by those closest to me, and I have felt the pain of abandonment. But even in my darkest hour, God was with me. He gave me the strength to endure, and He will do the same for you. The crowd listened in awe as Jesus spoke. They had heard stories of His miracles and teachings, but they had never heard Him speak like this before. It was as if He knew exactly what they were going through. Jesus concluded, My dear brothers and sisters, I want you to know that you are not abandoned. You are loved, you are cherished, and you are never alone. God is with you always, and He will never leave you nor forsake you. Trust in Him, and He will guide you through your pain.